Hello everyone, I'm Anthony, the Eclectic Chef. Welcome back to my kitchen. Well, tonight we're going to cook a top shelf mac and cheese. Well, we're going to do it with shrimp. I'm not going to use lobster. I would have used monkfish if I could find some. Some king oyster mushrooms for a little bit of texture and bite. Mini king oysters. And we're going to add a shallot, small shallot, some garlic, very, very finely chopped. Hope they'll cook down into the sauce, give us a bit of depth of flavour. Coastal cheddar from Trader Joe's, best cheese I can lay my hands on. As I said, top shelf, we're using whole grain pasta. Why not? It's better for you anyway. And we're going to use sodium citrate to emulsify the cheese. Just a little bit, 2% by weight. But it will give us a really smooth sauce to our macaroni. I could use hyper starched corn flour, potato starch water to help emulsify the cheese solids, but we still then have to deal with the fats. So I'm going to use sodium citrate. With that, let's get going and see how this works out. Glad you joined us. Okay everyone, so here are our ingredients for tonight's top shelf mac and cheese. We got Barilla whole grain elbows. I'm going to use plus 50% for a serving, feels about right. We've got a shallot and some garlic, very finely chopped to mix in with the sauce, but I do want a bit of depth of flavour. A few small king oyster mushrooms. These will not cook down into the sauce, gives a bit of bite. 100 grams of shrimp. Some white truffle oil for cooking these bad boys down. Add a depth of flavour. Some English coastal cheddar from Trader Joe's and some sodium citrate to get that cheddar perfectly cooked down into a smooth sauce to mix with the elbows. We'll see how this works out, but I'm hopeful it'll be really good. Those of you who are sharp-eyed may recognise that the finished product here is not what we started out with. And it's because we had to do a do-over. The shallot was way too browned in the first go-around, and I didn't like the look of it, so we tried again. Okay, so we have 131 grams of cheese. So we're going to add about 2.5 grams of sodium citrate to this. Get it to flow nicely into our mac and cheese. Well, we're only going to use the portion size of for the mac and cheese tonight. This is Barilla whole wheat elbows, 56 grams, that's a portion. Cut back a little bit. You know, I'm down nearly 20 pounds on my 4-3 plan, so I don't mean to bust that gorging out on this gorgeous pasta. Here we go in our micro gram scale, 2 grams exactly of sodium citrate. Maybe a little over the top, but you won't taste it and it won't hurt anything. Just want to make sure this is really gooey. Okay, in the end we got a lovely cheese coating on this smaller portion of pasta. The shrimp, in the end I decided to just give up, not worry about the brown bits of mushroom and onion, and they're in there. We've got a lovely coating sauce. I'm just going to show you very quickly how I dress this up for top shelf. So here it is. A little bit of sprinkling of smoked paprika and dottings of caviar. I think that marks this as top shelf mac and cheese with shrimp, mushrooms and a little bit of truffle oil. Hope you enjoy this. As a quick afterward, let me first tell you this was absolutely delicious. Now, we used over 1/4 pound of cheese here, and you'll notice there doesn't seem to be a lot coating, although the sodium citrate really did emulsify the cheese. I found it quite acceptable very tasty, very pleasant, good mouthfeel. But were I to do this again, I'd probably experiment with between 0.5 to 1% of xanthan gum. Not so much for its thickening properties, which it does have, but because it's very thixotropic, which means it helps the sauces and salad dressings, for that matter, to coat. But with that, I hope you enjoyed this. Hope it gives you some ideas, and I hope we all have a great day in our kitchens.